Hey there, Kathleen. Thank you so much for ordering a reading. I really appreciate it. And I'm going to do something different for you because of your first two questions here. We're going to go from there. I'm going to answer your last question here right now. What I would say is do not pay anyone to remove attachments from you. Number one, for the most part, it's for the most part, it's a scam, removing attachments and things like that, because you can just do it yourself. So what I will tell you is that there are two exercises I do every single day, and I will tell you what those exercises are right now for free, basically, although you did order this reading. But the first exercise is that what I do is I picture myself inside of a mirror every single day. So like imagine as if you were trapped inside of a mirror and bad things were just bouncing off of that mirror. So you're basically turning yourself into a mirror so that if there is any negative attachments or if there are any negative things kind of coming towards you, they just bounce right off of you. You don't have to worry about it. Number two is when I'm in the shower, I picture like a golden egg around my body, and I picture the water like washing dirt almost off of the golden egg, if that makes sense. And those are two very powerful, very easy, free ways to remove negativity, negative energy, pretty much anything. But I would not pay anyone to do that, especially because it's a very easy way to make money to claim that you can remove attachments, because there's no proof that they did it or not, right? So basically, they can just say they did it and they really didn't do anything. And it's also really easy to scare people into thinking that they have negative attachments when they really don't. So we will pull some cards on that question, but what I would say here is I would just do those two exercises and I think you'll be fine. So that's what I would say there. But I feel like you can get rid of it on your own. Like I said, I would never pay anyone to do that type of work at all. It's like even me, like I do house clearing for people who feel that their houses are haunted and stuff like that, and I always do it for free. So I don't charge for stuff like that. And and you know what I will do is I will send you some good vibes and everything like that, and I'll try to clear it from my end as well. So don't pay someone to do it, is what I'd say there. But anyway, your first question here is, I feel an energy spirit connection in Matt. I believe he feels the same way but is avoiding me. Will he decide to try things with me? If so, how soon? Should I move on and wait for him? Your next question is, I feel this connection even hundreds of miles apart. Is he feeling it too, or am I just going crazy? I literally can't get him out of my thoughts. Yeah. So let's see what's going on for you. I myself am in a long-distance relationship right now. Can't get her out of my thoughts, and she says the same thing. So I know I feel like this is happening to a lot of people. Yeah, let's see what's going on for you. But anyway, I'm going to answer both these questions at the same time, these first two, and I'm going to do a special 9-card spread for you. It's my this is kind of like my go-to relationship spread, and one of my favorites as well. So, and it will answer all your questions and more, is what I'd say there. So, let's see what we have going on for you here. And all right. And I always like to see what the bottom card is. So the bottom card here is the Devil. So you have the Devil here at the bottom. And I just want to look at all this stuff here. This can definitely represent bondage, being bound together. The Devil really isn't that bad of a card, I always tell people, because it is like the Devil. It seems scary and like all this other stuff, but really it can just represent being like, it can represent a soulmate. It can represent somebody that you are bound to in a lot of ways. And it can just represent a very strong connection to somebody. Normally it's like two people bound together with the Devil on the card, So it can represent a soulmate, or it can represent, feeling bound to somebody. Again, you say you feel this connection and like all this other stuff, so it can just represent like all of that other stuff as well. I feel like you will have a choice to make, is what I would say to you here. So basically with this 9-card spread, it's 3 rows of 3. 3 cards on top, 3 rows on top of each other, and the middle card is the most important card that you have here. You have the Death card in the middle of this, but you also have 2 people showing up here as well. So you have the King of Pentacles and the King of Wands. So 2 guys basically. So I feel like you will have a choice to make in the future, is what I would say to you. Also, the way that we do these readings is it's like the first vertical row here on the left hand, the left-hand side is like the past, then you have the middle, which is the present, and then you have the future at the end here as well. So, and by the way, the cards are very interestingly set up here as well. So, I'm actually, normally I read like this. Normally I read horizontally. I'm going to read vertically because I feel like that's going to make more sense. But you start off with the Knight of Cups here first. So, I do feel like maybe Matt was like a knight in shining armor at first. I feel like you feel like that type of energy with him, like that knight in shining armor, kind of like somebody who could save you in a lot of ways. Not save you, but, you know, just like that very deep connection. And Knight of Cups is my card of the Knight in Shining Armor. So I feel like he kind of maybe rushed into your life very quickly, and maybe you jumped right into this as well, because also in this row you have the Fool in this first row here, and so that could say that you jumped in very quickly into this relationship, or that you want to jump in. Funny enough, this is also a card of movement, so again, you do say that you are kind of like far away, and so, you know, it could represent the need to move, or it could represent travel in the past, or you could have traveled in the past, and that could have you know, that could have led to some changes as well. In the middle here, you have the Three of Swords. So again, this could represent a breakup, or again, you know, you are at a distance, so it could just represent the fact that you are not together, that you are kind of like separated at this time, even though it is coming up in the past position here. It doesn't really matter because, you know, again, I'm assuming that you've always been apart, or, you know, again, for at least a certain amount of time you have been at a distance from him. So, you know, that's what I would say here. I feel like you have been at a distance. I don't really feel like this card is actually saying anything at all other than distance. And next, at the bottom here of this first row, you have the Fool card. And again, the Fool just says that maybe you took a leap of faith, or you wanted to take a leap of faith with him in the past, or you were hoping to kind of like get this moving forward in some way. So I feel like in a lot of ways you are, you know, kind of trying to get this moving forward, and I feel like in a lot of ways that you are trying to, you know, kind of, you know, I feel like you want to take a leap of faith with this card even, basically. So, but I do feel like there is going to be some sort of leap coming in for you. So that's the past. In the present, right now, you have the Eight of Swords. So it basically says you feel trapped. You are not sure what to do. You are not sure what direction to go in. You're not sure, you know, how to get this moving forward. You're not sure how you can even, you know, make this happen. You know, this is a card of being trapped. It's a card of, you know, feeling stuck in some way. But it's also a card of like self-imposed restrictions. I always tell people, don't wait for anybody. Number one, it's like the worst thing that you can possibly do. I read for a lot of people, and I can't tell you how many people I've read for that regret trying to wait for somebody, and they regret turning people down. So I always tell people, date. It's like, if you want love, you should be dating, you should be out there, you should be meeting people, and like all of this other stuff. So I would say, you know, I would say don't wait. I feel like you could be keeping yourself trapped. I feel like you will have a choice between him and somebody else in the future, but I feel like you need to date to kind of like make that happen. I always tell people, it's like, if we want something, you know, if we want abundance from the universe, we have to create abundance. We have to do something to bring in an abundance of whatever it is that we want. If we want love, it's like, we got to create an abundance of love, right? We got to do something to bring that love in. So I always tell people, date. You know, it's like, so I feel like in a lot of ways you could be keeping yourself bound to him. And, you know, I feel like that could be the negative side of this relationship, if that makes sense. I don't think it's a negative relationship. I feel like the negative side of it is you keeping yourself bound to him in some way. So, but I feel like this card is also saying that you have options. Also, in the present, you have the Death card here. Death is actually a really good card. It's a card of transformation. It's a card of changes. I feel like here it's just saying that there are going to have to be some changes to, you know, obviously, you know, make this relationship happen. Plain and simple. So I feel like in a lot of ways this card is saying that there have to be some changes, some things have to happen for the two of you to be together, whether it's like, you know, one of you moves or whatever. But this is a card of big changes as well. So I do feel like there could be very big changes coming in for you, and yeah, I like that a lot. Finally, here in this middle row of the present, you have the Nine of Pentacles. The Nine of Pentacles is a card of being single, so it can say that you are kind of like single at this time. Even, you know, it basically just says you're single, and you're kind of like self-sufficient. You're kind of doing your own thing in a lot of ways as well. I also feel like that this could be saying that he feels single right now, or he could be, you know, single and self-sufficient in a lot of ways. And I feel like, you know, I'm also getting solo as well. I don't know what that word means, but I'm getting the word solo is popping into my head, and I don't know. I feel like it means that, you know, in a lot of ways, I feel like he wants to, you know, I feel like at this time he could want to be more alone, or something like that as well, just currently. Finally, you have the King of Pentacles here in this future row. I feel like this could be him, or I feel like there could be a very strong connection with him. This card being very grounded, very solid, very practical. I feel like that could actually be a challenge with him as well, because it's like, if he is very practical, it's like he could look at this and say, well, we live like hundreds of miles away from each other, so it really just doesn't make sense, no matter how he feels. And some people are just like that, right? So that could definitely be a challenge here in this relationship, and I do feel like it could be, I feel like it could be a challenge to overcome. Although, like I said, I feel like you have a choice to make. This is also a card of like needing to put the work in to get this moving forward. So I do feel like you have to put more work in if you want to see this move forward. I feel like there needs to be, some work put in basically to make this happen, is what I'd say here. I also feel that, I just feel like you could be very focused on work at this time. You also have the Six of Diamonds. I don't really like this card for love questions because it represents like too much like give and take, and it represents like a need for there to be balance in the relationship, and it can say that like one person likes the other person more than the other person. Wait, did that make sense? Yeah, that kind of made sense. So it can represent that kind of like lack of balance and stuff like that in relationships. So it can definitely be a warning card and just say, like, be careful of that. Be careful if, like, one of you likes the other one more than the other, or if you like him more than he likes you. It doesn't say there's not attraction there, but it could say there's, like, a lack of balance. So I would definitely be careful of that. But I do feel good about this card as well. It is a card of planting seeds. It is a card of, like, kind of moving towards something that you want. So in a lot of ways, I feel like this could be saying that you are moving towards the relationship you want here, or a relationship. You also have this King of Wands here as well. I do feel like this could be somebody new that comes in for you. I feel like it could be somebody who is very like bold, very courageous, very charming, like all of those things. So I feel like you have options here is what I feel like saying. I'm actually going to do another spread in just a second here to get more information, but I do feel like that there could be kind of like somebody out there who you will have a very strong connection with, and it's probably not him. So I do feel like there's new love. So in a lot of ways, like I'm hesitating to tell you to move on because I feel like you will have a choice in the future, but I also want to tell you to move on because like I feel like you need to meet this person. I feel like this is the choice you're going to make. I feel like it could be a fire sign or just somebody who's very fiery in general, and that's like the choice I feel like telling you to make. So I feel like it's a new person is what I would say there. So in a lot of ways, I feel like telling you to move on to someone new because, and even if we look at it this way, right? Even if we go top down and it's like in your first row, you have the Knight of Cups, the Eight of Swords, King of Pentacles, says that he could have been like a knight in shining armor, but he kind of kept you trapped, or he's kind of keeping you stuck in limbo in a lot of ways. Then you have this middle row, Three of Swords, Heartbreak, Death, and then the Six of Pentacles. That right there says that it's like over, or that you need to move on, and Six of Pentacles says you need to start planting new seeds. And then this bottom row, the Fool, the Nine of Pentacles, and the King of Wands, says you need to take a leap of faith towards new love with the Fool here. So if we look at it that way, I do feel like in a lot of ways it is telling you to move on in some ways, and I feel like that could be for the best. Anyway, it's like if you're meant to be together, he'll probably he'll show back up, right? But I feel like this could be this is a good card, bad card type of thing. It can say that this relationship is very toxic, or there is a very toxic connection here, or it's very you two are kind of like bound together in some way. But so I would be careful of that. But, so I do feel like you should move on, is what I'd say here. I don't think you should wait. And if he shows back up, he shows back up, right? That's what I would tell you there. But let me just do a switch. I'm going to use playing cards. I want to see, I would not wait, is what I would say to you. Let's see, and I do feel like he does feel a certain amount of connection, but I feel like he's just too too like practical, like I said with that King of Pentacles. So that's what I would say there. But I just want to ask real quick about new love coming in for you, and I definitely feel like there's new love coming in for you, is what I would say here. Yeah, it's really interesting. You have the King of Spades and the Ten of Pentacles. It's card of dating. Yeah, I feel like there could be that King of Wands type person, could also display the traits of the King of Spades. Could be very wise, very like a leader, very successful, all sorts of stuff. I feel like somebody is going to be very attracted to you as well. Yeah, I feel like this is somebody new coming in for you. So yeah, I would say someone new. You have the Four of Spades here, recovery, Jack of Hearts, new new admirer on the Jack of Hearts, leading to a recovery in love. 3 of Spades, separation. 9 of Hearts, new love. So this is you getting something you wish for, getting something you want. 2 of Spades, separation, literally. And Queen of Spades, needing to take a leap of faith towards something new. So like I said, really quick, I just wanted to blast through those cards there. I would say move on to, I feel like you should move on to someone new after all of that. I do feel like it's possible that he will show back up in the future, but only if you move on. It's like I always tell people, it's like once we get the attention off of whoever we want, like once we move our attention away, then we that's when things start going very well, because again, if we put all our attention on like one person and we don't focus on something else, we're like giving them all this free attention and it can push them away. Once we shift our attention to like someone else, then they can come back into our lives. So that's what I'd say to you there. I feel like you need to remove your attention from him, and I feel like that will kind of like lead to the most success, if I am being honest with you here. So that's what I would say to you there. Let's pull some cards here for your last question. You say, I was told I have a negative energy thing attached to me. Do I? If so, can I get rid of it? Yeah, and of course the person wants to get paid. Right. I would say no, but I would still remember. I would do those things that I told you to do, is what I would say there. And, yeah, I would be careful. Yeah. Is what I'd say there. You have the 8 of Pentacles. 8 of Pentacles is a card of work. This basically, and the 4 of Pentacles as well. This is a card of the home. 4 of Pentacles represents safety, security, comfort, protection. It basically says you are protected at this time. You have nothing to worry about. So I feel like you are protected. Like I said, when I get off of here, I will do some protection stuff for you. So I will do some protection things for you, like I said. But I don't even think you need it. But I'm going to do it anyway, just to be safe. So, but I would say no. I don't think you have anything attached to you. Again, the other thing is that I always tell people with like, all this like negative attachment stuff, it only works if you believe it, so it's like if you just say there are no attachments, guess what, there are no attachments, you will be fine. So but in a lot of ways it says do the work to protect yourself. So I already told you, at the beginning, the 2 exercises I do, they work. So that's what I'd do if I were you. Next you have the 3 of Spades, a card of separation, and 9 of Clubs as well. Yeah, this is a card of experimentation, but definitely a card of protecting yourself. 3 of Spades just says there's probably nothing attached to you. It is also a card of healing as well. So like I said, I wouldn't worry too much about that. And 9 of Clubs, like I said, is just a card of experimentation with like different ways that you could remove this attachment, and it's like a card of like different ways to kind of like heal yourself here. Next you have the 9 of Clubs and the 10 of Hearts. Yeah, this is a very good card. This is a card of fortune after difficulty. So what I would say to you, if you have been going through difficult times and if you feel like that's why there are these negative attachments, I would just let it go. Because it's like we all go through difficult stuff. We all go through challenges and like all of this other stuff as well. So I would just, protect yourself. This is a card of loyalty as well. So it's a card of like success and being protected. Ace of Clubs is my favorite card in the deck. It's like a card of abundance, but it's also a card of like called the ring. Of course, and one way to protect yourself is to draw a line around you in your head, a ring of protection basically. So in a lot of ways, it could just say that there's a ring of protection around you, and you are protected, and you really have nothing to worry about here. Next, you have the Joker and the 5 of Spades. Yeah, see, I would be careful with this Joker here and this 5 of Spades. This could say that this person who wants to remove these attachments is trying to, is just not doing the right thing here. So I would be careful of that. But the Joker also is like the Fool card, which you've had in this reading. And it's like a card of just taking a leap of faith. So just needing to know that you are protected, that you are safe, and all that other stuff. And finally here you have the 7 of Clubs and the Jack of Clubs as well. 7 of Clubs is like a card of escaping from prison. Again, I get the feeling that these are, the reason that you feel this is because you feel like you are trapped. Like you have that 8 of Spades, you have this card here. This card here, 7 of Clubs, and the 8 of Spades are very similar. They're both cards of feeling trapped, feeling like you can't move forward, feeling like you can't be successful in a lot of ways. So I would just like say let those feelings go. And also I feel like you're not trapped is what I'd say here. I feel like you are fine. I feel like things are going to be fine. I feel like you are kind of moving forward in the right direction. But sometimes it's like when we're trapped, we look for other answers. We say, oh, well, I must have a negative attachment because I'm trapped, I'm stuck, I can't move forward. So I would just let that stuff go. But I feel like you're fine. Things look amazing for you is what I'd say here. So yeah, I wouldn't worry about it. Like I said, I'll do some protection stuff for you at the end. We actually have a little bit more time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull more cards for you on this whole Matt situation. I just want to see what else comes up for you and Matt real quick. So let's just see what we get randomly. We will see what comes up for you here. And alright. Yes. Okay. Yeah, you have all these Pentacle cards coming up here, is what I'd say. for you. Yeah, very interesting. Yeah, in a lot of ways, you have the Knight of Pentacles. Like, remember what I said? Like, I feel like you're trying to manifest love with him with this Five of Cups here. This Five of Cups says you are trying to manifest love with Matt. And again, he shows up as a Pentacle card here as well. But this says you're crying over spilt milk, but there's like 2 cups behind you. So it says that there are other options. I do see you walking away, is what I'd say here eventually. It's kind of what I feel. I feel like there's potential that he will come back into your life, but at the same time, I feel like you might be moved on by that point, if I'm being honest here. Next, you have the Queen of Diamonds, or Queen of Pentacles, and the Page of Wands. Yeah, see, I feel like someone new is coming in for you. I feel like it could be a fire sign. You know, you had that fire sign in the other part of the reading. You have a lot of fire showing up here in this reading as well. So I feel like almost there could be a fire sign coming in for you here. And I feel like they're walking towards you. I feel like this is you. But the Queen of Pentacles is also a card of like needing to pick a path. I always say Queen of Pentacles to me is I have certain cards in the deck. Let me put it this way, where I use my own meanings, right? Where it's like I use the traditional tarot meaning, but I also have intuitive meanings for some of these cards. And this one here I call the Crossroads, the Queen of Pentacles. To me, it represents having a choice between something old, something new. I would pick something new. Page of Wands even is a card of setting off on an adventure, so basically picking something new. Next you have the Seven of Cups and the Knight of Swords here. So yeah, like I said, I feel like you could be focused on the wrong things with this Seven of Cups. Knight of Swords just says that you could be trying to move forward too quickly here. Again, part of the reason you could be thinking about this relationship is because of the retrograde. You know, so that's what I would say there. And I feel like you will probably feel differently after the retrograde as well. But I also feel like there could be faster movement towards love if you focus on something new. You know, Seven of Cups could be, it can say that your focus is in the wrong place. You know, it could say you're focusing on him, but maybe you should be focusing somewhere else. Next you have the Eight of Cups and the Fool. Yeah, Fool again. So, like I said, I feel like you are going to take a leap of faith. So Eight of Cups just says you are going to choose to walk away from this. You are going to choose to move on to something else. You know, sometimes we have a connection with somebody, but it's like, there's just like no way that we can be together. It's like I said, I think I just said this at the beginning of your reading. Like, I'm in a long distance relationship kind of thing, and basically she's coming out here in a couple weeks, but at the same time, it's like things keep happening that keep us apart, that keep us from moving closer together. And it's like, is that the universe telling me, hey, this isn't going to work? Like, sometimes I just need to be realistic. You know, I feel like we all kind of need to be realistic about these things, and we just need to say to ourselves, like, I love this person, but maybe there's just no way that we could make this work. Next you have the Two of Wands and the Judgment card. Yeah, I feel like you're going to be getting a call here from someone new, basically. This is a card of rising up from the ashes, this Judgment card. It's a card of rebirth and kind of moving on to something new. Two of Wands just says you are going to discover something new. And finally, you have the Star card in the World. Yeah, the World is a card of completion, so it does say that maybe this is over. But the Star says you are going to get a wish. You are going to find love in your life, and you will be very happy. Obviously, I feel like you will. So I'm not worried about it at all. Yeah, I feel like you're very attractive. Like, I feel like people are attracted to you. Yeah, but I feel like you need to do something new. Ace of Pentacles. Sorry about that. By the way, but the Ace of Pentacles is like a card of stepping off on a new path. So I feel like you're going to start a new journey here and meet somebody new, if I'm being honest. Like I said, there's probably no doubt with that Devil card that the two of you are, you know, bound together, that the two of you could be soulmates, but it's like we're not meant to be with all of our soulmates. I don't even like the word soulmates. I don't think that they really exist, number one. Number two, I feel like we have multiple people here on Earth at any given time that we could be very, very happy with, you know, if we chose to be with them. So, you know, like I said, I feel like we have a lot of options. But I think things look amazing for you. Things look really good. I would say don't pay that lady to do the attachments things. Like I said, literally in like 5 minutes, I'm gonna do some things, some exercises for you, and I would say do the exercises I told you at the beginning of this reading, and you'll be fine, is what I'd say there. But other than that, honestly, I feel like you're gonna move on, is what I'd say to you. And but it looks good. So anyway, thank you so much for ordering your reading. I hope this helps, and definitely good luck.